So Nickelodeon has been releasing SpongeBob spin-offs for a while now. So far, they've released 2 spin-offs, and will probably continue releasing them, with a Sandy spin-off on the way too. But their existence itself seems to be a huge controversy among SpongeBob fans. So, let's discuss this controversy. Ever since Kamp, Koral, the first SpongeBob spin-off, was announced, tons of people have been calling for the cancellation of all SpongeBob spin-offs because a lot of fans believe they are disrespectful to the creator of SpongeBob, Stephen Hillenburg's wishes for no spin-offs. When it was announced, Paul Tibbitt, who was the showrunner on SpongeBob between 2005 and 2015, published his reaction to the news on Twitter saying, "I do not mean any disrespect to my colleagues who are working on this show. They are good people and talented artists, but this is some greedy, lazy executiving right here, and they all know full well Steve would have hated this. Shame on them." Before Paul Tibbitt was showrunner, he also worked on SpongeBob in its earlier days, and because he worked on SpongeBob for such a long time, a lot of people took his words as a fact. What added to this argument was that Kamp Koral was announced in February 2019, just 3 months after Stephen Hillenburg passed away. It looked very suspect that Nickelodeon waited for Stephen Hillenburg to pass away to greenlight spin-offs that they knew he would be against. Vincent Rallo, the current showrunner on SpongeBob, responded to all of this, basically saying that Paul Tibbitt hasn't worked on the show in years and he doesn't know what he's talking about. But Vincent Rallo argued that he does, and Stephen Hillenburg liked what they were doing with SpongeBob. And this is a fair point. By the time Kamp Koral was announced, Paul Tibbitt hadn't worked on SpongeBob in almost 5 years. That leaves Hillenburg with plenty of time to have changed his mind on spin-offs, assuming he was ever against them to begin with. But that's not enough to disprove what Tibbitt said. As it is, we've still got 2 people who worked alongside Hillenburg long enough to get to know him well, arguing the complete opposite about what he said and wanted. So let's do the most logical thing we can do in this case and go to Stephen Hillenburg's own words. One quote people bring up a lot is one of Stephen Hillenburg saying he hates the idea of a spin-off of SpongeBob. It turns out this was taken out of context by an unverified Twitter user who quoted Stephen Hillenburg and added the part that says he hates the idea of spin-offs, meaning Hillenburg did not say he hates spin-offs in the interview a lot of people believe they've been quoting. So after learning that, I was in search for a real, legitimate quote from Stephen Hillenburg about what he thinks about spin-offs, and it took me a while to find one. It was not easy, but here we are, and I finally found what is an interview with Stephen Hillenburg posted in 2009 by TBI Vision. Because of how hard it was to find this, I did put a link to this article in the description of this video. Hillenburg is asked, "Have you thought about spin-offs featuring some of the other characters?" And he says, "The show is about SpongeBob. He's a core element, and it's about how he relates to the other characters. Patrick by himself might be a bit too much, so I don't see any spin-offs." So there you have it. Stephen Hillenburg was misquoted by a ton of people, and what he actually said about spin-offs wasn't that he had some rule against them, he just didn't see any spin-offs being necessary. But if Vincent Rallo or anyone else at Nickelodeon decides to make a spin-off and it ends up entertaining a ton of fans of SpongeBob, what's wrong with that? But anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, feel free to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to get notified whenever I upload a new video. And tell me what you guys think in the comments.